how is an ITBA's value assessed in terms of project success and stakeholder satisfaction?
So like project managers, metrics for your BA is how few of change requests did you have? An analyst can help prevent those. So like that prevention work, how easy does the project feel? Do the stakeholders feel heard? Is what they asked for, is that what they got? Doing requirements in a manner that are completely reusable, because requirements are business needs. Something in our company needs to function this way. No matter what system we use, that requirement still exists. So did you make it reusable? And for the next one, a great metric is my test plan now becomes your regression test plan for your project. And normally your metrics come not just on how many requirements they got, but how many requirements had to be changed, modified, what was missed, what was not tested fully, validated all the way through. And again, especially post-production, once you go live, how many issues arose, how many change requests came in that should have been part of the original scope.
Today, I'm excited we have an expert and thought leader in the world of business analysis and organizational success, Jamie. Beyond her title as a passionate BA, Jamie lives and breathes business analysis, bringing measurable value to every project and team she works with. As an accomplished speaker and trainer, Jamie has a knack for helping others sharpen their business analysis skills, discover unique perspectives, and achieve outstanding results. Through her company, Champagne Collaborations, she partners with organizations and entrepreneurs to deliver powerful insights that drive teams towards success in their change initiatives. With a strong foundation in business analysis, project management, process improvement, and knowledge management, Jamie has worked across industries and with organizations around the globe. When she's not empowering teams, you can find her soaking up in the Hawaiian waters, collaborating with her friends and family on a surfboard. Welcome to Life and IT Project Management, where we bridge the gaps between life and IT project management with practical, relatable content for aspiring PMs and seasoned professionals alike. Join me in welcoming Jamie Champion. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for joining us. So today, our topic is question, and the question is, what essential skills do aspiring ITBAs need to launch their careers, right? Eventually, the title might be just a reformulation of that, but we are speaking, everything you speak to will be centered around that theme. So my first question, and let's start with the basics, and the basics will be, what is a BA and what sets the role of an ITBA apart from other BA roles?
So what or who is a business analyst or business analysis professional? That is someone looking at the business value out of all the decisions, all the requirements, solutions, designs, all the activities of especially a project, and seeing if we are getting and delivering the desired value. Not just the intended, but is it truly going to be valued beyond the product launch? Is it beyond the project scope? And that have we addressed the original reason why we started this project in the first place? The business analysis professional, that's the one where we're making sure we're doing the right thing. I think a great way to do this, project managers, we need you to make sure we're doing things right, following the plans, following the checklist. Business analysis professionals, they ask, are we doing the right things? Should the solution look this way? Have we included these other stakeholders? What might we do? And so those are that real inquisitive nature that's just really going, is this really the best that we can do? How cool is that? That's a champion role. And now the thing though, IT Business Analyst is one of those roles that's been around actually for a while, may not have been called that, but think about the people who need to know not only what the solution, the end product has to do, but what we're already doing, how things work. Do you know what systems are in play? Do you know how they function, capabilities? This is more than what standard business analyst that analyzes the business. What's our markets? What's our profitability maybe? What products should we sell? Who's our customer? Getting down to a little bit more deeper. Do you know how things work? These are the people, these are the people who love to take something apart just to see what's inside it and then try to figure out how to put it all back together, whether or not they've looked at the instructions or maybe they rewrote the instructions. That's an IT business analyst. They want to know how things are working, why they work that way, and then they layer on and go, okay, what else could we do with this? Or how does this now fit within our architecture, our enterprise?
Fantastic. Thank you for giving that delineation, that difference between the BA role and ITBA role and defining those. And that will lead me to the next question. So, starting out as an aspiring ITBA, and I'm speaking for any aspiring ITBA out there, what essential skills do aspiring ITBAs need to launch their careers?
Well, the skill set, so it's almost more like a characteristic first, is be naturally curious and want to learn. So the part where like a skill set to have is ask people, why is it that way? What does that work? So your first big skill set is to ask great questions. Be naturally inquisitive, but don't worry about the right answer. The way, like you say, we get experiences through, getting that opportunity. So start asking people questions. What systems do you use? How do you use them? What do you use them for? May I watch you use this system? May I try? Is there a test or is there a training class that I could attend to learn what you do? Those ITBAs or you're wanting to get more IT, even if you're not in that space, and even project managers too, ask, well, what kind of systems do you work on? What is your tools and applications and who else do you work with? See, these are all really good questions that if you start at the beginning, get in that habit, build that skill set of just asking the right question. Don't worry about the right answer. Worry about the right question. That'll help open doors. It'll start exploring and you can ask further. That'll build your insight, build the expertise. So now you come in not just as a business analyst or a project manager, but you almost start to get some subject matter expertise.
Fantastic. So leading from being inquisitive, asking the right questions, caring more about that, forgetting about solutioning or creating or suggesting the right answers. That leads me to the next question, which will now be, when it comes to technical and non-technical skills that are critical for the ITBAs to have, what will those be?
Sure. One of the best things that we all need this is, I would say, is your digital comfort. And what I mean by that is be comfortable using digital applications. But just like you and I are meeting today, if we use a different application tomorrow, but to still do the same thing, are you okay with that? Like, we still got to find the video button and the microphone button. They all have that, but they're going to be in different locations. Are you okay with that? So like the technical skills is don't be afraid to touch. You need to get in there and touch and be comfortable using applications. So jumping in and like you say, running a meeting, try it with another tool. That's that technical skill. But see, now that also goes in what you asked about, like the softer skills, the competencies that go with it is, are you comfortable still leading the meeting, whether we're on Zoom or you're in person? Are we okay still collaborating as a team if one person has to call in? As long as you're comfortable working within those spaces. So there's the two parts. It's one, you need to be able to touch and learn the systems. How fast, if we switch customer relationship management systems, CRMs, are you okay and to try to figure things out? Like, okay, it's a little different, but okay, switch websites. Get in there and play with the apps, but not just, again, for you to know how to do, just find out what they're capable of. How's it lay out? What's that user experience? That's where ITBAs are looking at the systems, the application. How do I connect? Where can I connect? Are you comfortable on your mobile devices? Okay, go try it on the computer. Try it back on your phone. Getting those comfortable. But see, now that part there is, again, seeking understanding. What else could I do with this? One of the great skill sets that will help business analysts, or I'll give two. So both like a very more technical and a skill set is one is get very good at your item tracking. And like my project manager should know this by heart. Track everything's in a spreadsheet or a list, right? Get really good at that because for business analysts, that's how you help do traceability. So if you ever uncover something, whether it's a capability or it's a requirement, a need, trace that all the way through, either to the product or back up to the business goal. Get really good at tracing items. So just a spreadsheet, good old Microsoft Excel. Here is the need. How are we solving that? Trace them. If you've got gaps, that's the analysis part. That's where you start saying what's missing. So then same thing like with a process model, my Visio users, or I'm a Lucid chart because I'm on Mac. Those are technical applications. You need to be able to visually show how work is carried out. Visual models of systems and how they connect and firewalls and networks. Those are a great skill set for IT analysts. You'd be able to have that. But then now put on there the skill set of analyzing that. When you look at a process flow model, where is the process not optimized? Where is there opportunities? Where is there redundancies? Where you can ask, like, maybe we should change this, improve this, modify it. So those are probably some of the biggest things if you dived in right away. I know, like, especially like if you're put on a project, give me a process flow map that shows how things are working and what we're touching and not touching. So maybe some scope models. And then also your traceability. So spreadsheets, trace decisions, trace requirements, trace the test plan. You're going to have to be able to do good testing, make sure we delivered what we said. Get those and then be comfortable using those with your stakeholders. So sharing, share it out. I share my screen literally and pull up the process map. I have to be comfortable creating it, but then I have to be comfortable walking people through it to say, I have a question. And again, back to those good questions.
Fantastic. Thank you for giving a full-on overview of both technical and non-technical. But I think I appreciate the fact that you started with so basic productivity apps and applications, right? Started from there. Eventually, now getting into you spoke about the requirements, traceability, matrix. You could use an Excel or whatever you want to use for that. Then your flow diagrams. You if you want to use Lucid Chat, if you want to use Visio, and so forth. Thank you for going through all that. Now, when it comes to how an ITBA's value is assessed, I had an interview where we're talking about metrics for an aspiring ITPM and metrics for an experienced ITPM. So the question I have right now is, so what will, and you could mix both, right? So how is an ITBA's value assessed in terms of project success and stakeholder satisfaction?
Well, that's an excellent question. I always tease that, like project managers and business analysts, stakeholders not really sure they need us, but once they've had a taste, we're so addictive because now they want to buy us in bulk. They want one every time. And so like you say, how do you articulate this great, asset to your team? And it's one of your biggest, I think, metrics on an analyst is what doesn't fit, so that we don't have to reconfigure after we've started testing or we delivered. We don't have to go back to the stakeholders and revisit conversations because we didn't get the details correct the first time. That we don't have to change the schedule or, again, a lot of scope creep because that was controlled during. So that like project managers, they can use metrics for your BA is how few of change requests did you have? An analyst can help prevent those. So like that prevention work, that's what's on there. Moving from development to production for especially ITBAs, an ITBA will keep that schedule on target because of the robust test plan. And then again, metric is the number of errors once you go live or how many issues are found. A good analyst prevents those because of their test plan and that we don't put them in the hands of our customers. We we'd rather find them than, my customer. That's always the testing justification we do. And so that piece there, how easy does the project feel? Do the stakeholders feel heard? Your feedback from your stakeholders, that's a great measurement. Is what they asked for, is that what they got? Because the meeting expectations is a big area that the business analyst helps with. We seek understanding. We don't seek the ultimate product. We seek understanding of what our stakeholders are trying to achieve. The PMs help figure out the best way to deliver that change. And the analysts are validating that we truly have it. Another metric to put on there is from that project, how much is reusable for future work? Like you mentioned, requirements. I should be doing requirements in a manner that are completely reusable because requirements are business needs. They're not just, here's what we got to do during the project. Something in our company needs to function this way. No matter what system we use, that requirement still exists. So did you make it reusable? And for the next one, a great metric is my test plan now becomes your regression test plan for your project, that I've just saved you hours of work from what I did. So it is very hard to quantify analysts, but the biggest thing on there is to look at projects with and without BAs. And normally your metrics come not just on how many requirements they got, but how many requirements had to be changed, modified, what was missed, what was not tested fully, validated all the way through. And again, especially post-production, once you go live, how many issues arose, how many change requests came in, and that should have been part of the original scope. Agile metrics are a little different on there. Agile environments get a little bit more on how much value is delivered. So you can start articulating that group contribution there. But those are like some of my biggest metrics, but it becomes such a challenge because you're trying to measure what's not happening because they are doing such a good job.
Fantastic. That one, just as the way you responded to the last question, that was also very, very helpful. So any aspiring ITBA listening, experienced ITBA listening, from initiation, from requirements gathering, from how robust they are when doing so, from how they question, to test plans, to pre-prod, prod, post-prod, once the product is out there in the customer's hands, to what the customer can do with it. So even the test plans being reusable, right? For regression tests, and so many other factors. Those are definitely things that can save the enterprise lots of dollars. Thank you so much. All right, so that leads me to the last question for today. Now, in an AI-driven world, how can ITBAs differentiate themselves and remain valuable?
Awesome. So AI is changing the game for business analysts. Absolutely. Just like it is for project managers. And again, what's really cool is, and I firmly believe this, the BAs, the PMs, the change agents, your job's not going to go away. But if you don't include this technology, you will be outpaced. You're going to be second fiddle to those who are using it. So the first part, which is great for ITBAs, because they should already be touching it. You should have ChatGPT. You should have Perplexity. You should have click on the AI button on all your favorite apps. You should be touching this. Again, be naturally curious. Now, here's the part where we're going to really push you. As soon as you get a project, it can be any space you've never worked with. Maybe it's an IT project for the financial team. Get onto Perplexity and ask it, what do I need to know about IT projects in the financial space? Use AI to help you understand the business context you're walking in. Use it to identify who are my potential stakeholders. So maybe I've never done this work before, but AI can give you a good list of who you should look for and what questions you should ask. I love doing that. Who are the people I should be talking to? What kind of questions should I be asking? What information? Because if I don't hear that in my discussions, now I know what good question to ask. Say, hey, I haven't talked to a risk analyst yet. Is there anyone doing risk in our company? Because that's a big, I think, is part of these big financial project, I think. See, I know what questions now to ask, even though I've never done the finance IT project before. So that part right there, dive right in. So that way it helps you get, again, analysts want understanding. They want to understand what's happening, why we're doing what we're doing, what the expectations are, all that understanding. So get understanding from AI. Have AI help you. Like, and that's why I say, like, perplexity. I go there when I want to understand a topic, understand a space. Start that. Then the other piece, what I love doing is using the AI tools to enhance my productivity. If the computer can do something, you need to have the computer do it for you. Building out mind maps, an initial process model. There's AI tools that can do that for you. And so, like, getting comfortable in that space to where you get like 80% of it built. Now you just start using your experience as you get it to know what questions to ask to finish those models. The requirements traceability, get some analysis on it from AI of where the gaps are or what topics haven't been talked about. By the way, I love AI to generate my test plans. Instead of me having to come up with all the ways you could try to test to make something that works, to go ask some help from AI to build that out for me, that saves me so much time. But see, that's where I'm going to outcompete the other analysts. I'm going to have a test plan 80 to 90% done very fast because I know how to use the AI technology responsibly too, safely on there. That's where we're going to see that outcompete nature. I know enough information before walking into that first meeting just because I asked for context, understanding. I can help generate my deliverables much faster. I can check for verification faster on that. And then I can spend more time with my customers, my stakeholders, to really ensure we're addressing and tying back those business needs.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for that. That's a bit comforting for many aspiring ITBAs who think, oh, there's a couple of things that AI would, even in fact, AGI would step in and take. But what I know from what you said is the fact that AI would not engage as much as they would, honing on user experience as much as they would look at the context and so forth. But a BA leveraging AI, a BA effectively leveraging AI would always come up with solutions as quickly as possible, will always come up with assets as quickly as possible, process models and so forth as quickly as possible. So that definitely is the way forward. The last two questions I'll ask, this has been wonderful, very wonderful. You started with definition of what a BA is. You moved on to what sets an ITBA apart from a regular BA. You went into essential skills. You went into technical and non-technical skills that are critical for ITBAs to excel. Then you went into how an ITBA can assess, and that I loved your feedback to that question, how an ITBA's value is assessed, and the fact that their absence leaves a gaping hole, right? Then lastly we spoke to leveraging AI to remain relevant. And I'm glad that you specifically said 80 to 90% because the remainder they talk about prompt engineering. So the other part of reviewing what has been spewed out to basically modify what does not fit. That also requires your own personal touch. So that definitely is what will set you apart as well. And that leads me to, do you have any product, service, or workshop coming up shortly that should interest or benefit the audience?
Sure. First off, follow me on LinkedIn. So I actually just dropped a course at the time of this recording for how to build business analysis deliverables, those mind maps, those process models with AI tools. So that's on LinkedIn Learning, as well as how to use Lucid Chart and project management tools on there. That please follow me on LinkedIn. And especially if you subscribe on my website, I'll send them out for free so you can take advantage of those resources as well. And if you don't have any of your valuable PMs or BA certifications, please go to my website at champagnecollaborations.com because we are signing up for the spring. We call them our fast tracks. So if you don't have your certs, I am here to help you get your certifications. So we don't do the full boot camp. It's not reading boring material. I'm here to help you and ask the hard questions of how come you don't have it already? Because one of the things we've seen with PMIs, their CAPM, their CAPM certification, it requires business analysis skill sets on there. You will have business analysis knowledge on there, which I think is great. PM, BA, Agile, and if you need help getting that cert, because I bet most of those people watching, they could probably get it and they don't even realize that. When you need those resources, as Justice has mentioned, we are here for you, and we've got spring enrolling already at the time of this recording and more to come. Again, follow me on LinkedIn, Jamie Champagne, just like the name, as well as champagnecollaborations.com. You can find all our events and more goodies to help you along your IT project adventures.
Thank you so much. Project and ITBA adventures. Yes, definitely. So if you have enjoyed this episode, share what resonated with you the most. We value your feedback because your success as an ITBA matters to us and the world. Of course, when you connect with the resources that Amy has mentioned, when you get to our website, you will find significant value and get the right help to help you excel. Our mission, of course, is to help you excel. So please don't miss out on content we will be putting out. And remember, every man is the architect of his own fortunes. Thank you so much.